Hi team.
And alright.
Hi chat. I am near death with flu, but I'll die quietly to not spoil the stream.
So ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is game 1 in the King of the Desert 2 tournament. So I thought long and hard on how I was going to upload this tournament, how I was going to handle this tournament in regards to YouTube. YouTube, if you're seeing this whole best of 5 and round 1 will be uploaded in one video. So welcome to the King of the Desert 2 tournament. Thank you to Mem for organizing this. Thank you to Crazini and everyone else involved with making this happen. Matt Gisolis and Microsoft. This is a best of 5. This is a single elimination tournament. Winner moves on to round 2. We have Hera. He is in the blue. He is playing as the Huns. And then we have Project Belgium. He is playing as the Aztecs. Hera is the 8th seed, which you can see in the scoreboard. We have the 25th seed for Project Belgium. For those interested, you can check out the brackets if you're here on Twitch by typing !brackets, or you could always look at it, the brackets, which will be in the video description. They drafted 5 civs each. There are 5 different civilizations, and what makes this real interesting is that if they use the civilizations they used in their first set in round 1 cannot be used then again in rounds 2. So it actually is more complicated than just a 5-game set. So Huns versus Aztecs. This is a classic. I still don't have a way of explaining this, but a speed, like a mobility versus a slow, compact style. It'll make it really interesting because Aztecs are very strong, but they're a bit slower than Huns. And already, Project Belgium is trying to steal a pig. So I didn't get much time to discuss everything I wanted to. Project Belgium is off to the races here.
1890. I know pig. You know pig. You know big.
Perfect timing on that resub, Kate, man. I think that Belgium could lose his eagle though. He's running the opposite direction, and Hera in game 1 could block the eagle off. And if he blocks the eagle off, well, the board just stops. So he'll get his pick, and he kills the eagle. Oh, what a start for Hera. You know, what I wanted to get to is that Hera is the higher-rated player. He's the stronger player, and he's a player that I think will do very well in this tournament. And Project Belgium, he's always entertaining. He says, I know get pig. There we go, Belgium. There we go. Belgium cannot call a restart. You'd have to call the restart before 4 minutes. So in game 1 of this tournament, this best of 5, Project Belgium has had a really rough start. But back to what the civs offer, I guess, right? So Hera is looking to scout him out now. Unfortunately, has not found anything to steal Belgium's pig. I think what Belgium can do is open up with men-at-arms to go very aggressive with towers. Huns, they need a little bit of time to work up towards that speed. So if they start off with scouts, for example, you have to build the stable, and then you have to amass a few scouts before they can do much. Whereas men-at-arms can pack a punch earlier on. Base-wise, this isn't the worst base for Belgium, but it's not the best either. I like his wood lines, but the golds and the stones could be a bother for him. All 3 golds are in the same spot of his map. But, you know, looking at Hera's map, this is much worse, right? His main gold, his secondary gold, his third gold, all here. So both players will be looking for those gold piles. Belgium actually did not get the goats here. So he went out to lame and steal a pig, and he's down 2 goats. So he's down a scout, he's down 2 goats. Now, Hera is having the toughest time finding where Project Belgium is. And honestly, the reason is because KUTD2 maps are a bit weird with how they generate. There's so much open space in the south. And then the players are up in this corner. But Hera's on the way up to the next stage. He'll come back home, push some zebras, and he'll be going scalps, which is something he's very good at. So still 2 goats of his own left. Very clean economically right now. The lumber camp's working perfectly. 3 on one side, 2 on the other. He's about to distribute villagers evenly on this one. He's pushed in the zebras for food. Good start for Hera. Yeah, okay, he needs to wall up where he can, so this would be a good wall. And Belgium will get lucky and find his goats. Very, very fortunate to find those. Hera shows up, he sees the barracks, he'll actually steal a goat. Okay, so he's able to get one, or they're gonna have a little dance with this now. Yeah, Hera lets him take it, then kills it. Okay. Poor goat. He was just roaming the pastures. These wonderful pastures in this desert.
But with your casting skill, you seem to need this. Capity 90 love.
And Hera confirms that his opponent's going man-at-arms. So again, to deal with man-at-arms, you need a bit of time. Hera hits Feudal Age faster. He gets the extra attack and speed on his scout. And he's going after the villager, which he can probably kill, but does he want to commit to this? Yes, that's good. And Belgium is not happy to have lost a villager after losing his eagle. Hera kills the villain, keeps the scout alive. Really strong stuff for him. I feel like Belgium's probably a bit tilted now, you know? Like, he's got to be frustrated. There's a T90 farm. He's lost his eagle. He lost the goat, of course. Now he's running into lions. Ooh, yeah, he's got to be frustrated. You know, even if he loses this first game, it's a best of 5, right? Obviously, it has not been the best game he's ever played, but he's got to keep this in mind, that it's a whole set of games. He needs to keep his cool. But Hera's had so much time, man. So much time. And we've seen it before from Hera. He's so good with the scouts. Looking for weak villagers. Looking for pickoffs. He does not know that his opponent's coming forward with 4 villagers. But Hera has had so much time to get his eco right. Belgium hasn't done any damage to Hera yet. Hera with 2 kills. Of course, the eagle and the villager. MLZK, I'll definitely get to that point here in a second, okay? Once this game finishes, I can get to that point. But Belgium needs to place a tower now. And, oh, it's... You know, this is a tower you place when you know that your opponent should have enough military to do something against you. Like, that is a very cautious tower. And say goodbye to another villager at Project Belgium's base. Project Belgium worked really hard to get the rating required to get in the top 32 in the world for this tournament. And game 1 has not been good for him, but he gets the tower up. And now this can be a bit awkward for Hera. So yeah, to everyone on my Twitch chat, because I know we just started the stream here, I'll get to your questions, okay? Just please bear with me. I'm going to cast the game, and since this whole set will be uploaded to YouTube, I can answer any questions potentially for YouTubers as well. So fortunately for Belgium, he just lucked out. This tower not only denies some farm space, but it denies 2 golds. I mean, how fortunate is he to have lost his scout, but somehow show up here and deny 2 golds with 1 tower? So it's not too bad for that reason. The map is just awful for Hera. And the other gold for Hera is out here. So if he needs gold, he has to go quite a long distance. I guess he could collect the south side of this one. But anyway, he's at 4 kills now, Hera. He'll kill a spearman. And could perhaps kill more villagers on this stone. Should kill one. Should kill one more now. Belgium will lose another villager. And this is where Belgium needs to hold. You know, he has his opponent's gold under control. He needs to somehow survive. Oh my god, he's lost another vill. And will he lose another one? Oh, jeez. This is so bad. He's losing so many vills. Hera's done so much damage. And Hera's on the prowl now back at his base. 8 kills in a 15-minute game. And Hera's coming back for more, man. He's coming back for more. And Belgium will get this tower up, which I like. But I feel like he won't hit Castle Age anytime soon. You know, he's lost so many vills. His economy is so fragile, so weak. How big is losing 1 villager? Well, just think about it a little bit. So, this villager here is collecting resources non-stop. Will be collecting resources throughout the rest of this game unless Hera loses him. Now imagine losing 6 units. I think it was around 6, right? Potentially more here in a second. 6, 7, 8 units that can bring in resources over an entire game. It's a huge deal to lose as many villagers as Project Belgium has. And I love how good Hera is with his speed, man. He's so quick.
Another month. When I started watching your stream, things were a struggle. When I started
even if he
subbing
doesn't do
things
damage
with
here, which he will, because he has enough scouts. Look at the micro. So good.
I am content with the world.
Even if he's unable to do damage and kill additional villagers, he's just distracting Belgium more. And he's killed 2 spears without losing a single scout. 11 kills now for Hera. The only question that Hera will be asking of himself now is how he gets to gold. But I think he's so far ahead that he could, oh, hold on. He's sending vills forward. I like this. There's gold right here. But he could use the market. Now, the beauty of having the skirms in addition to the scouts is that skirmishers can kill any spears. And I'll be completely honest, guys. I don't think it will come as a surprise to you guys, but I think that GG will be coming in shortly. If Hera plays this correctly, he just needs to get his skirmishers involved. Again, good micro. If he gets his skirmishers involved, then the spearman from Belgium won't do anything, and he calls the GG. This is all before the towers went up. Rough start for Project Belgium in this tournament. Rough start, but it's fine. It's a best of 5. Project Belgium is a T90 official sub. I'm sure he's going to rewatch this cast later on, and he will have wanted Twitch chat to say it's fine with the T90 fine. But guys, we're looking at the 8th seed in Hera, a guy who's recently returned to the game. I think is the fastest player in the game. He's 18 years old or something ridiculous. So we have Hera versus the 25th seed, someone who just squeaked into the top 32. And at least in that game, you could see there was a pretty big difference. So 12 kills for Hera, 3 deaths. Economically, after killing so many vills from Belgium, he was pretty far ahead there. And that would have only climbed, of course. So, what we didn't have time to look at was the draft. And I've had a lot of questions about this, so I'll give you some more info here in a second. So first of all, we have Hera here. He just used Huns, so he can't use that now. We just saw Aztecs from Belgium. This guy's Belgium in the draft.
5 months.
So in round 1, you have a 5 civilization draft, which is right here. You cannot use these 5 civilizations in round 2. So let's say Hera wins this. Then he can't use the civilizations that he's played in the next round. So perhaps if that was such a dominant performance, he should consider using a civilization which he thinks is worst out of his draft. You know, like maybe you want to save Slavs, save Franks. Just something to consider. Because you will not be able to use those civilizations that you play, like Huns, in round 2, and Hera is favored in this set. So anyway, let's get right into game 2. All games in this tournament will be on King of the Desert Arabia. The score is now 1-0. There's going to be questions about the rules. Seeing as the games are happening so quickly, I won't exactly have time to address it every single time. If you guys want info, it's either in the video description on YouTube or you can type !KOTD2 in the chat. So simple as that. All the info is there. You got to do a bit of reading, of course, but it's there if you have questions, as well as the brackets and all that. All right, welcome, guys. Game number 2. This is the second game of King of the Desert 2. We have a pretty sick Sunday coming up. I'll talk more about that, I guess, because I forget the exact matchups, but on Sunday we will have 3 best-of-5s in King of the Desert 2 round 1. I'm pretty pumped. Hera has chosen Magyars. Best way to explain Magyars to anyone wondering is Magyars are like Huns on steroids. They still have a great scout opening. They get extra attack on their, well, all of their melee units get free extra attack starting in Feudal Age. They also get that in Castle Age. They have strong Knight and they have strong Cav Archer options. Then you look at Project Belgium. He's here in the red. And he is Slavs. Most pro players would say that Slavs is one of the most OP civs in 1v1s right now. Or possibly even in team games. Their farm bonus is simply way too strong, and that's something they can take advantage of. So Belgium will be able to get food to make spearmen, food to make scouts, food to make his own knights potentially. Already off to a good start. He's pushed in one of his jail horses here. Well, let's look at the maps. We have more time because, well, I didn't need to explain what I did in game 1, and also there's not any lame going on right now. You know, I feel like this is going to be my thoughts on most maps in KOTD2 because none of the maps are going to be fantastic unless we're casting Viper, of course. It's alright. It's alright. It's not a great map for Belgium. I mean, he can wall here. So if he walls here, then he secures this gold. His berries are on the back, so that's good. There's walling potential, but the issue is the gold locations. The main gold, right below a hill. Secondary gold, it's not ideal, though I think you can TC there later. I don't love it, but I like it. Let's put it that way. There's also ostriches here. So he has some extra food if you would like the ostriches. He has 3 on wood, so I believe he'll go for scouts. It's probably the same for Hera here. Yep, same for Hera. Hera does have a back gold. It's a secondary gold. That's nice. Main gold and third gold, just awful though. Just awful. And because of the elevation, because of the fact that this is in the center of the map almost, I would slightly prefer Belgium's map. However, having the back wood and golds, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this is something that Hera will not be complaining about. So in my opinion, if I were to be comparing the styles of these players, I would say that Hera plays a lot more standard. And the players who are going to give him problems in this tournament are players who they play Vivi style. They play Fat Dragon style, where they go forward, they go man-at-arms towers. That's what's going to really hurt Hera in this tournament. Belgium tried that in game 1, but obviously he had a really poor start. So hopefully this time around, Belgium, who I believe will be playing this standard, but hopefully he'll have a better performance here. Okay, so I need somebody who frequents the stream to create a tally, a mental tally, or write it down or something. This is the second game in the King of the Desert 2 tournament. And this is the second game in which a player has not found their opponent. So Hera, the first time, couldn't find where Project Belgium was until way after he sent his scout out. This time, he's unable to find him. I feel like this will happen a lot with the KOTD2 maps. They're very open, but also just the generations are very different. And there's a lot of debate over that and conversation amongst players. So 2 out of 2. But to be completely honest, to be fair to the map, that's a 3-tile gold. Hera should never assume that his opponent's out there. He could have checked that stone. He's found him now. He's found him. We're good. Alright, so 2 lumber camps for both. It's just about build orders right now. Wait till you get your units out. I believe that Hera... Let's see here. Now, he didn't lose out on goats. It's just that Belgium pushed so many zebras that he has extra goats. Maybe he did lose out on goats. I think Belgium was able to steal 2. Okay. So Hera's probably saying, I know goat. Jomana says, you're just a KOTD2 map hater. And I've also had conversations with dozens of pros about the map. Maybe not dozens. A dozen. So it's... Anyway, we'll leave it at that, Jomana. We'll leave it at that. Extra attack comes in from Magyar scouts at feudal age. And fortunately for Belgium, he was able to get some hits in before feudal age, so he's ahead in the scout war. This is a good deal. This is a good deal. It's just a very open map. I think if any tournament is Vivi's tournament, it's got to be this one. We could talk more about the Fat Dragon, but like I genuinely feel like a map like this is just so meant for Vivi's style. The KOTD2 map is just meant for ultra aggression, forwards, and towers. And so I think that if I were to have predictions on like upsets, maybe, I don't even know if Vivi would be considered an upset if he wins the tournament, but this is definitely a tournament suited towards ultra aggression. Normally, if this was a regular Arabia tournament, it wasn't KOTD2 Arabia. As much as I love Vivi, I don't think I would favor him, but I think players who play his style will have success here. So you got to look out for Vivi and Yo for sure. Belgium, you know, he should keep in mind here that he is the stronger eco. So I think the biggest mistake you could make now if you're in Belgium shoes is this. Yeah, running into spears. Like that, yeah, that's bad. You know, you don't want to give Hera an opportunity to start attacking you. You just need to give yourself a little bit of time. Now Hera is walled up a ton, which makes his base pretty strong now. And I think we'll go for this gold instead of the main gold. This is too risky to go to. You could transition to archers. Both of them get access to crossbow. It's not too unheard of to see Magyars go for cav archers, but I personally think that you should be taking advantage of the free attack that the next stage will give you. Right now, his scouts get the free forging, his spears get the free forging. You will get the iron casting upgrade for free immediately in Castle Age. So I think players tend to go with knights and spears to make use of that bonus. Well, 1 kill for Belgium. 1 kill for Belgium, and again, this comes down to build orders and walling and playing smart. Hera has more farms at the moment, but Project Belgium has the faster farms. Spear v spear here. This is not great for Belgium. And he better start walling up now, because he's just lost his spearman. He can't seem to get into Hera's base, so Hera will think he's secure. And Hera will probably send his scouts out. And you never want a guy like Hera in your base with scouts. Ooh, man, I guess the scouting wasn't great for Belgium because he could have walled here. Instead, he goes for the safer option. But
time for me to get a tier 3
it's fine.
Subscription. Thanks for all the entertainment.
I think both players will stop producing scouts. Okay, so here's the power of Slavs, guys. Currently, Belgium has 14 farmers. He has 400 food, okay? 400 food. Now he's researching wheelbarrow. Watch how quickly that food count goes up with 14 farmers. You compare that to Hera, and Belgium's just defending himself from Hera's scouts now. Hera has 17 farmers, so he has 3 more farmers working for him. And he's at around 300-ish food. I'm just curious to see what the uptime difference will be. There was a game MBL was playing a week ago or something. I was lurking on his stream. And it was Castle Age game. I think it might have been Imp, actually. But he goes, look how ridiculous Slav farms are. He goes, watch. I watch my food. And so he just stops controlling the game and sits back, and he counted 20 seconds, and I think with like 20 or 30 farmers he was above 3,000 food. It was ridiculous. So neither player should get in unless there's a hole. You know the saying, there's always a hole. Oh god. Oh god, Belgium, what did you just do? Is that villager on the other side of the houses? Oh, he is. So unnecessary. It almost looks like the scout could hop over the corners of the houses there, you know? Oh no! Don't let him in! Oh god, I thought the house foundation was going to go down. Well, okay, the Castle Age times are virtually identical. And Belgium just needs to send his units back here. This is great for Hera, that he's been able to kill a villager and delay 2 others from working. Okay, so now the question is, what do you go into next? Your opponent's full walled. Both of them will be thinking this. Now, I think it would suit Slavs to go heavy into spearmen here. And you could go like pikemen and siege on the front. That's an option. But at the moment, I think they'll both just create a few knights and do more of the same in the next stage with knights and spearmen. And then probably add TCs. What Project Belgium needs is more spearmen to deal with the scouts and the knights that are incoming. And please don't let these... Oh. Oh. Oh, I like it. All right. Sneaky move there, Belgium. Sneaky move. It wasn't as pretty as it could have been there. And there's always a risk that when he finishes this gate, the gate will open up. That may or may not have happened to me when I played my brother on the 24-hour stream. But I think Hera will be forced to just run. Alright, well there he goes. So I was scared for him there. Project Belgium seems just fine. He adds the next TC. Again, he has less farmers than his opponent. He has 13 farmers now. And he had the food to queue up 2 more vills and to get the pikeman upgrade. Hera, meanwhile, he expects this to go late game. He's adding 2 new town centers. And he's also adding a monastery. This is a smart move from Hera. Because no one's going to win this game in early castle. This is about taking small advantages. Another thing that Hera could do is he could use his extra scouts to pick off enemy monks. Or to just scout the other areas of the map. Hera didn't invest any or many knight upgrades. He has bloodlines, but he knows that getting armor is not all that important here because he won't be taking big fights. And he lost a knight to a pikeman there, so he knows that Belgium at least has pikes. Feels like Hera has more control, right? He was slightly faster to the TCs. Feels like he has Slav farmers with the amount of food he has, but in reality he just added a lot of farms. So he has a slight Vil lead. And I like to see these monks getting relics now. He has a free relic in the back of his base. I would scout with the scouts, look for the relics, look for the extra gold piles, and secure this hill somehow. Because this could still be a nightmare for Hera. This is definitely an opportunity for Belgium. He knows his opponent has 2 golds forward. There's hills here. So maybe be more aggressive in Castle Age with pikemen and siege. So when you watch Hera play, it's a lot of small things, but it always seems like he's the one who's in control. Belgium, he's reacting to everything Hera's doing at the moment, and Belgium needs to shift that, needs to change that. And there's the villager, okay. So Hera immediately spots the Vil. Probably expects a siege workshop. This is what I'm talking about. This is exactly how you should play Slavs. This is how you should play this map. And Hera researches man-at-arms, so he wants to go longswordsman against this. Well, this is not common. It's not a common response from players. You'll see a lot of players just try and get map control to prevent this from happening. But considering Belgium made so many spearmen, that wasn't really possible. Unless Hera played into his own pikemen. But anyway, defensive siege workshop from Hera, and he will go longswordsman, guys. This is still risky. See, Belgium doesn't expect this at the moment. That's why it's good for Hera. But imagine if Belgium somehow expected that and went immediately into Scorpions instead of Mangonels. If he had 3 or 4 Scorpions with the pikes, those longswords might be donezo. But then again, remember, Hera with his own siege workshop could make a Mangonel to flatten the Scorpions, so there's so many possibilities. Well, the problem with going Cav Archer, as someone said I would go Cav Archer, is it takes a lot of time. And also your ecos probably set up more for knights or longswords than anything. The light Cav upgrade completes. The monks will go down. Hera will lose his monks, and he'll lose his knights as well. Now, Belgium needs to push this sooner rather than later. He needs to push this. He needs to start attacking the siege workshop. He needs to mass more units. He does not know that there are 3 barracks creating longswords. Full upgrades in Castle Age, by the way. The defense upgrades and, of course, the attack upgrades are free. Nice move from Hera to use his scouts versus the monk there. And wow, he even finished off a weak knight there with his scouts. And he was aware it was weak because he turned around. And after killing it, ran away. And he's going right back in for the next monk. And he will kill it. What a play. And Hera's being really freaking patient with the Mangonel. That's not the best attack he's ever had, but it ends up being 1 for 1. Belgium could click up to the Imperial Age soon with this many farms. Look at his farming eco in comparison to Hera. And with Slavs, Belgium could click to Imp soon. And Hera's not even close. Hera needs to fight. Hera needs to fight now. He needs to get this map back, I think clean this up, and then build a castle on the hill, and then try and get to Imp yourself. Yeah, Belgium was not expecting longswords. He was not expecting this many upgrades. And he can't fight this. He can't fight this. But what he has done is... He's been on the front foot. He's forced Hera to invest into a lot of longswordsmen, which is expensive. And Belgium choosing to fight this one. Send out the Maganel, which is weird to me. And he's also getting scale barding armor. Now 1,400 food with Slavs. Oh, it's insane. He's adding stables. You know, I don't think the eco balance has been there for Belgium. I really think he could have clicked up to Imp with the amount of food he had. And instead he wants to make knights. So he will go into Castle Age knight production instead of going to Imp and making champions or something. And Hera does secure this hill now with a castle. Interesting. Well, once this castle's completed, Hera cannot be touched. He really can't be touched. And he probably won't be too worried to see enemy knights either. Because he already has all the infantry upgrades. He can just make halberdier in the next stage. Or stay in Castle Age and make pikemen. It doesn't really matter, right? Either one would be a very strong move for him. Belgium sends a Maganel out of the Dying Siege workshop to kill the villagers building a castle. And look at Hera's micro, man. Micros the villagers away. We'll get the castle up. And now Hera clicks up to Imp, or he will in a second. There we are. Come on, man. Click up to Imp. There we go. And, oh, Belgium. Belgium wants to build a castle on the hill. He fights with the knights. He doesn't have full upgrades on the knights, but there's still knights. And he just needs to give himself enough time to finish that castle. He should win this fight, Belgium. The scary thing for him is what is coming next. Because he will not be in the Imperial Age. Actually, I lied. He will be. Mercenaries on the way for Hera. And he's getting chain barding armor, so perhaps thinking about those Magyar Hussars. Mercenaries means the Magyar Hussars do not cost gold. No pikemen being created by Hera. He does not have any archery ranges. A great composition to go into here would be a Cav Archers and Magyar Hussar. He hasn't made them archery ranges yet. And he's just building another castle here. This TC is a bit exposed. Alright. Meanwhile, Belgium is roaming around with the knights. He hasn't got in. And Hera sees he's overchopped and will plug the gap. Hera's playing really well. Hera also has 2 relics. Could probably be 3 if he sees this one, which he is just missing out on, but he might find it. He converts a weak knight. Wait, how did he not get the conversion there? Oh, he converted one over here, didn't he? Yeah, you can barely see it. You can barely see it with the way it's positioned. Solid play from Hera. But is he really going to start off with just elite Magyar Hussar? These things are strong, but normally need to have something to complement them. 2 castle, elite Magyar Hussar production. And Belgium... Man, if he was going straight into Halb, Hera would be in trouble, but he's not doing it. I'm not sure what Belgium's going to do, actually. He's getting plate barding armor. Yeah, I think this is where the shift needs to come in. If you're playing in Slavs, you need to shift into Halberdier and Siege. Cavalier, while they of course get full upgrades, it's just not the right unit line to invest into. And Hera will go immediately for the raid. He's killed a villager here. He runs in with more Magyar Hussars. He runs in here. So 124 villagers currently for Belgium. And he's going to lose a ton to the Hussar raiding. And this is giving Hera so much time. so much time. Look at these villagers. They just melt, man. They just melt. I think it's 3 shots from a, maybe 4 shots from an elite Magyar Hussar. And here come the trebuchets. And big problem for Belgium is that since Hera has the elite Magyar Hussar, he has that bonus versus the trebuchets, so he can go right in for the trebs. And look how quickly these trebs go down. It's insane. He should have turned around to kill that trebs. That's perhaps the first mistake for Hera today, but he's killing so many villagers, forcing idle time, and he's getting help. Imagine if Project Belgium would have gone Halberdier and Capturam at the start. I think he could have done a lot of damage, but he went Cavalier. I don't know, I just don't think it's the play. And at the moment now, you hear the 3rd relic being collected. Hera should get that one. He has extra map control, extra control of golds and space. And he's shrubbing down Belgium's castle. And Belgium's had a stronger game too. Game 1 was a disaster. But it is not looking good for him at the moment. Now, if they're both making halbs and they're both making siege, you still need to favor Slavs. And that's kind of what they're working out towards. But of course, Hera shows up here. Hera shows up here. Belgium probably should have just not built the castle. That would have made it easy. Oh, and the micro from Hera as well. Look, he sees the Cavalier attacking one of these Magyar Hussars, so he sends them away. This is intentional. Then he uses the other 3 to focus down the villagers. And Belgium's trying to deal with the front, you know. He can't focus on those small things. And so the castle gets denied. What a play. And then this castle will probably go down, and yeah, it's Hera who has the momentum, and the GG's call.
Merry Christmas.
So, first of all, fantastic defense from Hera in Castle Age. That was fantastic to go longswords. The only bad thing for him was that his map was not secured on the front. These golds were atrocious, but he did the right thing and he fought back. Even after that, though, I can't help but feel that if Project Belgium goes into Halberdier and Siege, that he pushes that back. The worry for him, though, was that he had previously saw Hera making longswordsmen. So he was probably thinking, okay, he's going champion, and so what I can do to combat champion is to make Cavalier. We, of course, can see everything. Belgium, he can't see what we can see as he's playing the game. So perhaps he just got outsmarted by Hera, because Hera had no interest in making champion. He instead went into the Magyar Hussar and then into the Halberdier. 91 kills for Hera, 63 units lost. Economically, he was ahead in every category except gold. So he beat Slav Eco with food. He beat Slav Eco with wood. Incredible stuff from Hera. Hera teched into so many things, though. He could have countered almost anything, right? Oh, you mean Hera? Not necessarily. Like in that instance, if there were 20 to 30 halbs with Capturam, Hera would have lost the castle in the front for sure. Even with the elite Magyar Hussar, I think that while he can kill a few rams with the Magyar Hussar, he can't get close to the rams because of the Halberdier. Hera's just a beast, man. When you watch Hera play, we're talking about Project Belgium, who's a Seed 25 player. So 25th in the world going into this tournament. When you watch Hera play, you can just tell how much faster he is. It's pretty nuts. Like you said yourself, he could have just finished his longswords. Yeah, Eldry, but in the event that would happen, then that's Magyars playing right into Slav's strong suit. So then Project Belgium would say, oh, fantastic. I'll just upgrade to champion. I have better champions. Magyars don't have that final defense upgrade. So I'll go Halb, champion, Ram. And if that's what's happening, then that would be where Slavs would win. But it was more than anything just fantastic play from Hera there. And we'll go into the third game. These are the civs they have remaining. If you say so, I'll believe it. Well, I hope I'm making sense. I'm not saying that Hera couldn't have countered it. I'm not saying that he couldn't have transitioned. Not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that would have been the best approach for Belgium, and then he could have adapted from there, possibly, right?
Oh boy, 14 months already. Happy New Year, Tristan. I was looking for that 14 hours.
So they have, Hera has Malay, Franks, and Slavs. And then it is Mayans, Chinese, and Huns for Belgium.
Right? I mean, promise to woo woo woo.
Honey, it will happen at some point, man. I'll tell you guys more about that after this set.
Happy New Year, boys. T90 boys.
Alright, guys. Yep, Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome. We have a best of 5 between Hera and Project Belgium. Now, the civilizations you just saw on your screen were the civs drafted by the players. And any civilization that you play with in round 1, you cannot use in round 2. So Hera has chosen Malay instead of Franks or instead of Slavs because he's up 2 games and he's thinking he might want Slavs and Franks in round 2. Smart thinking. Smart thinking. He's here in the blue. Hera has just looked the better player today, which I think he is. It was always going to be tough for Belgium when faced off against Hera. We have Mayans for Belgium. So game 1, Project Belgium had Aztecs. It was Aztecs versus Huns. Aztecs are arguably stronger there, though Huns, of course, have their opportunities, which Hera took and won. Game 2 was Magyars versus Slavs. Hera made Magyars look better than Slavs, but in reality, I think that Slavs are better than Magyars. And now we have Mayans versus Malay. And I'm not saying Malay is a bad civilization, but Mayans are probably in top 3 of 1v1 civilizations. So yet again, Project Belgium going for the strongest civilizations, just in hopes to get past round 1. He doesn't have the luxury of thinking like Hera does, as Hera's the stronger player. So, map-wise, always important. Really good for Hera. Insanely good for Hera. You know, I had to double check here for a second. I thought that Hera was Viper for a moment, because this map looks like a Viper tournament map, my friends. Look at this. Look at this. Get your grass hacks or T90 hacks. Look at this map. This is insane. He can build a house here and 2 palisades. Then he could build a few houses here. He has 2 stones on the back as Malay. He has zebra on the back. He has safe berries. He has 2 gold secured. He has a relic in the corner. My goodness. The only thing that could be a struggle for him is wood if his opponent goes into archers. So hear me out on this. He can full wall his base, but he has no wood that's secured from range. So here, he'll probably wall. So he'll wall here, or he'll wall like this. But whatever wood line he goes to, if Project Belgium's on archers, Project Belgium can fire over top. So that is one concern for Hera, but my goodness, that is a very small concern with all the resources he has. He even has, guys, he has ostriches. Where's MBL? Is MBL lurking out there? MBL would be losing his mind. It's like, oh god, why'd they add ostriches into the map? It's so unfair, man. It was an ostrich win, man. Oh my god. Potato map. I love you, MBL, if you're out there. But yeah, he even has ostriches, so he could take that as well. So I see the eagles here for Belgium. Belgium trying to be a presence with it. He has not stolen any goats, but he is preventing Hera from pushing in his zebra. And he will also prevent Hera from pushing in any ostriches. Anyway, let's look at Belgium's map. So Belgium, I think he should go aggressive here. I really think that he should be going man-at-arms and towers again. Or at the very least, man-at-arms. It's not great for him. It's really awkward how his wood and his gold are in the same spot here, and this gold will be inefficient. But he can wall it, so he could wall that easily. Unfortunately, if he does that, there's a gold and a stone beyond that wood line he won't have secured. And oh goodness, he just ran into TC fire with his eagle. The other gold's out here to the north for him. And he does have some stone here as well, but none of this is really all that secure. And he laughs now, I'm sure out of frustration, because he should not have lost his eagle's HP. That will make his drush a lot less effective now, as he's killing up 3 militia. T90 official, love your MBL impressions. How do I do, guys? How do I do with my MBL impressions? I feel like I'm getting better. I feel like I'm getting better. 8 out of 10. You know, speaking of that, I've been thinking of emote ideas. And I've been considering getting like a 1 out of 10 emote, so a T91. So if I I don't know, if I make a bad joke, you guys can say 1 out of 10, and then also a 10 out of 10 emote. Which would probably be used more often, because let's face it, my jokes are fantastic. They're not at all cringy, not at all bad. Right? 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 Thank you. Thank you, guys. So here comes the militia. Poor Project Belgium, man. Running into more lions. That happened in game 1 as well. And okay, he sees the wood line. What's Hera up to here? I think it's Hera, so he has to go scouts. Honestly, Hera could be Mayans, and he could somehow find a way to go scouts. I know it's not possible, but he would break the game. He would figure it out. This is tough for Hera. I don't think he knew this was coming. Or if he did, he didn't react appropriately. But she squeaks out of there. I thought that she would be trapped. She squeaks out of there. And what Belgium wants is to give himself time now, guys. It's not to kill anything. It's to give himself time to wall. And this looks like a Drush-Fast castle build for him. So at the moment, Belgium has 28 villagers working for him at home. And he's delaying 4 villagers from Hera. So this is pretty good. I'm really curious to see the response from Hera, because more often than not, if someone's doing this, you have to go forward. Go forward and build a tower. A tower here would be fantastic. A tower here would actually be really good. And I've seen Hera play enough times. Or he plays against a lot of players who play this style, so he normally knows what to do. Has not gone forward yet, and maybe he won't. It doesn't look pretty, but in all honesty, very good stuff from Project Belgium. He just killed Hera's scout. He has 300 food. It will probably be around 500 in a second once he brings in the zebra. Now, is his eco balance right? Is he going to have the resources to click up to the next stage once he hits feudal? If not, he's just giving Hera more time.
YouTube videos. Have seen absolute everything soon. You are absolutely right. You have improved yourself. You are amazing.
No hole, please. No hole. Alright. No pig, no hole. Perfect. See, imagine if Hera would have gone forward with 4 villagers and built a tower before Project Belgium hit feudal age. He could have towered here, he could have towered here, he could have... this wouldn't have been the best tower, but he could have tried to range some of the gold. But the good thing for Hera is that he did not overinvest into scouts. He expected his opponent to be walled. So he just created a few. Belgium completes his blacksmith. Belgium completes his archery range. He needs 70 more food, and he's up to castle age. So Hera needs to wall like crazy. Hera needs to farm like crazy. And he needs to deal with the incoming threat of crossbowmen. And that's not a way to do it. He just sent a scout right into TC fire. But you know what? He's keeping an eye on what his opponent is doing. So this is interesting to me. Project Belgium is going with 2 archery ranges. So the reason this is interesting to me is that when you drush fast castle, while you can reach the castle age in a very quick time, this would be at 16 minutes and 40 seconds, you're not going to have a lot of resources. You're investing most of what you have into just getting the castle age upgrade. So to be able to afford 2 archery range production is really tough on your economy. And you can see now, he's just getting horse collar. And he only has a few archers. But what it also tells me, if he's making 2 ranges, that means he won't add TCs anytime soon in Castle Age. He'll go very aggressive here. And Hera, meanwhile, at home, has been walling up. He just needs his blacksmith and a few resources. Of course, he has an insanely good map. This is an insanely good map. And he wants to click up to Castle Age, and he's melee. So, interestingly enough here, he's only a minute behind because melee advanced 80% faster to the next stage. So he needs to buy himself time just for a minute, and he'll of course need some military. It looks like he wants to go elite skirm. So well executed from Hera. Of course he could have gone forward, but he went for the economic approach. But now Belgium's coming forward, so Belgium has 1 minute to do damage And he's looking at one of the best bases you'll see in this tournament, probably. Oh my goodness, this is so good. Again, the only bad thing is the wood line, but he could even reposition over here. Goodness. Well, Hera needs to track the crossbows. He's looking for him. He doesn't see him, so he could get surprised here. He hits Castle Age. He's getting Elite Skirm. Yeah, I can't help but feel like Hera will be fine here. He even has the armor upgrade incoming on the skirmishers. Okay, what Belgium can do, it's not all lost here. What Belgium can do is give himself time at home now. So he'll probably be countered. Yeah, I like this. Send one crossbow to there as a scout, right? So he dies and not the whole group. But I think try and keep Hera at home and away from your base as long as possible. So Hera runs around this way, then perhaps you send some crossbows on this side. Maybe you try and sneak back around. I think the worst case scenario for Belgium is if he just runs home. He has to somehow avoid this, but I guess Hera sees him. Hera's tracking him the whole way. Oh boy. And watch, Hera will try and distract with the scout. Yep. Oh my god, how did he find the 1 weak crossbow in there and kill it with the scout? Crazy. And many people might be wondering, okay, why doesn't Belgium just make some eagles now? Well, Belgium's doing that. He's made one. But the truth is that just one single eagle scout's not going to be enough here. And Hera could always mix in archers with the group. A Maganel can be helpful. It is 2 TCs now for Project Belgium. He has a Vil Elite. He's also Mayans. So he is the better Civ, at least in my opinion. I'd like to see an elephant here. Send forward a cheap elephant, if you're Hera, to kill the Maganel and to kill any eagles. And oh! Nice Maganel shot from Project Belgium. Hera needs to be careful with this. He needs to be very careful with this. These are some weak skirms now. So back to Hera's base for a moment, guys. He has a TC going up on the other side of the woodline. I love that location. I also love this TC location. This map is just... it's basically hacking. It makes it so easy. But he still had to make use of it, right? The walls is what made it good. The positioning of the walls, the positioning of the TCs. He could have TC'd here, but then he could have been threatened on the other side of the wood line. So he recognized that and TC's the other side. Same with the gold. Yep. 2 Maganels now for Belgium. Again, I feel like an elephant would have helped Hera out. Malay elephants are cheaper than knights, and just one single elephant might be enough to kill a Maganel. But it gets more complicated now because Belgium has crossbows. So, of course, with crossbows, he could kill the elephant. So, skirmishers to combat the crossbowmen. We have Maganels to combat the skirmishers. We have knight to combat the Maganel. Full upgrades for Hera on his skirmishers. Full upgrades. But he just ran into Maganel fire! I don't care how many upgrades or how many skirmishers you have. If you're fighting uphill there, it's going to be tough. And also Hera is getting scale barding on his knights. He hasn't made elephants. Interesting. Well, Belgium needs to hold the hill, and Belgium, he's prioritized his eco at the start. I think he needs to get Bodcanero. See, he doesn't have the food to create villagers out of all TCs and get Bodcanero, which is the concern. Does he have a stone security? He does now, so if he's thinking plumed archers, which is a very strong option for Mayans, then he could go that route. And 3 knights now for Hera. Both players just worrying about their economy. It's kind of like Farm Simulator, but every now and then they fight. T90 official is obviously now elephant guy. Well, there's very limited windows where you can use the Malay elephants. I feel like now it would be a bit of a waste, right? Against so many crossbows, just as the knights are. But if an elephant would have been here earlier, he would have potentially won the game right there. But guys, it's very easy for me to say these things as a commentator, I'll admit. Because it didn't happen, right? So I can say, oh, if it would have happened, then this would have been the result. I don't truly know, of course. Just theory. And Hera might like the knights because he likes the speed, but he just runs to his death there. Ooh, but he also goes to the gold in the wood with the skirms. Man, this is awkward for Belgium. This is awkward. He has to send his units around this way now. Gotta love Malay villagers. They're if any civilization had casters, it would be the Malay. Listen to that. He has so much to say. Yeah, I know. You can't cast, you gotta fight. It's cool. So Hera has the hill. He has Bodkinero. He also has both the armor upgrades. So 6 pierce armor right now. But he can't deal with the Maganels. And so I think Belgium, he could take these fights. If Hera slips up just one single time, this is going to be a problem. And that's a lot of knights that Hera's creating. At the same time, though, Hera has skirmishers on the right. He has Maganels and skirmishers on the left. And Belgium is at the bottom of the hill. Oh, nice shot, though. And wow, that was an epic play from Hera. I'll talk more about that in a bit. But he actually deleted his Maganel because he saw the Maganel from Belgium was on elevated land. And so that made the hill bonus disappear. Again, I'll talk more about that in a second because it's a little bit more complicated than that. Hera is surrounding the crossbows. These crossbows are trapped in here, guys. These crossbows are trapped in here. And, oh, Belgium, no. He's just been outplayed, man. He's honestly just been outplayed. The timing on Hera's own Maganels are perfect. The grouping of the skirmishers perfect. He knows that the crossbows can't run now. Oh. F's in the chat for these crossbows. And F's in the chat for Project Belgium. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. The knight also squeezed in here to kill Maganel. Will he even kill this Maganel before his crossbows die? Yeah, he will. But, oh my goodness, that was so good from Hera. That Maganel thing was huge, because had he not deleted his own Maganel, then because Belgium's Maganel was on the hill, Belgium's Maganel would have actually survived. So, in Age of Empires 2, there's hill bonuses, right? And so when it comes to Maganel wars, if you're at the bottom of a hill and you connect with someone, at the top of a hill, you actually don't do enough damage to kill it in one shot. So what you can do is you can delete your Maganel after firing, and so the game kind of forgets about the fact that your Maganel was at the bottom of a hill. Because it's dead. So it just does normal damage and kills it. So had Hera not deleted there, then what would have happened is he would have lost his, connected with this one, but that one would have still been alive for one more shot, and a lot could have been different there. Hera also did that versus MBL and the fast speed best of 11. How many people saw that? If you didn't see it, it was awesome. And it really highlights how quick Hera can be. Hera is halfway to the Imperial Age. He's making skirms. And I don't see anything that makes me think that that's a mistake right now. Project Belgium is Mayans. And skirmishers is not exactly a force that you can push and kill someone with. So maybe Belgium looks towards Eagles. He of course has to click up to Imp. But he has quite a few barracks here. Belgium runs around to try and do damage. He can't do damage on this map. He couldn't even find a single villager in range to snipe. And Hera is all over it, man. And he'll kill more crossbows. If Eagles come out, all that Hera would need is Karambit Warrior. He could also go for Elephants. I don't know if Elephants are the play here, but there are some options for Hera to tech into. Round 1 of King of the Desert 2. It's a best of 5 single elimination tournament. If Project Belgium doesn't win this game, he's out of the tournament. Just like that, after months and months of practicing. Poor guy, I mean, obviously to face off against Hera in round 1 is going to make things really tough for him. Castle's already up now. And a second one will probably go up. I'd like to see it here, actually. Here, just to protect himself on that area. Yeah, Joe Manal, I think Malay counter every civilization in the game if they survive early feudal age and early castle age, because that's where they're weakest. And if you remember, Hera was able to survive early feudal, and then he started to gain an advantage, and then he also started to, he survived early castle, and then he had an advantage from there. And he will also finish off these Mangonels. Malay are a really interesting civ. And now early Empire has been fine. I mean, I'm not seeing anything that makes me think that Hera is not going to win this game. And especially after seeing games 1 and 2, you have to give the guy the edge. But if Malay are very strong, Hera will not have them. Well, regardless of if they're strong or weak in your opinion, Hera will not have them in rounds 2 if he wins this best of 5. He also will not have Magyars and he will not have Huns. So he'll have to go with something else. How do you counter Britons as Malay though? Well, you could play into Elite Skirm, Rams, Bombard Cannons, but you're right, Britons might be a tough matchup. But as always, it depends, guys. Let's get the T90 depends in the chat. That Belgium would just now hit the Imperial Age. He's going for Eagle. I don't think this comes as a surprise to Hera. He's seen the barracks. He's running all around. Look, he's here. He's here. He's here with a castle. New trebuchets. He has 5 different groups at the moment. 5 different groups of skirmishers. Just being as annoying as possible. Idling as much eco as possible. He has a 50 population lead. And these Eagles are about to be elite Eagles. And even though the Eagles will kill the skirms, I somehow don't think that Hera is that worried about it. Now he's getting Iron Casting, so he's getting the Karambit upgrades. He's also working on getting his 3rd relic. He could get his 4th here if he sees this. He will TC this extra stone. He's just in full control. He's just in full control. I love this castle placement because it protects his trebuchets. And now Elite Karambit's on the way. So in an ideal world, this would be where Project Belgium would now make his own plumes. So he would go Elite Eagle and Plume, and if he had that, then he would kill Malay. I think Elite Eagle, Plumed Archer, if they have full upgrades and are in decent numbers, they counter everything Malay can make. But Hera has all the momentum. Hera has the numbers first, and Belgium's not really in a position to have Elite Plume, and he's repairing a castle. But you know what? A little bit of luck there. He kills one of Hera's trebuchets. Might kill another one. Waiting for chemistry. He has no defense upgrades whatsoever on the plumes. And the skirmishers have full upgrades. That's going to be really tough for plumed archers. T90 official, do you ever do live noob casts? Well, I would say that that would be community games, but people here might get upset with me, so I'm just going to say no. I never cast noobs on this stream, only pros. Isn't that right, guys? Here come the Eagle Warriors. This is just to give Project Belgium some time. So he kills another trebuchet. I do think he needs to be careful fighting this, though. He's underneath the castle. But then again, does he have time? Hera already has so many advantages. This is Project Belgium's gold, which he doesn't have. Maybe now is the time to push. Now or never. And here come the bombard cannons. I just can't see how Project Belgium can hold this. And the trebuchets are out in the open as well now. Oh god. Hera's still been brilliant with his position of the skirmishers in this wood line. He will kill a trebuchet, and he'll probably kill this castle. And I think Project Belgium, I think he's in trouble. Hera notices that Belgium's going out here. He's so fast, and Belgium calls the GG. And Belgium says good luck next.
Merry Christmas.
So that was a very, very quick best of 5. And that is a sign of things to come, guys. Because Hera is a force to be reckoned with in this KHED tournament. He's full of confidence. He is one of, if not the fastest players in the game right now. This is a guy who, when I started casting, was 15 years old and was top of the Voobly rankings. He's kind of been gone for a year or so now, and I've never seen the guy so confident and loving the game as much as he is right now. So I'm excited for him, man. I'm excited for him. You have to have motivation going into a tournament on top of the skill. You have to be prepared, and I think Hera is possibly one of the most motivated players in the game, at least from what I've heard, right? I won't touch on too much beyond that. Now, Project Belgium, he really didn't stand a chance in these games, it seems. But I want to give this guy props because he was able to get 25th seed in a 32-man tournament. So that would put him in the top 50 of the world easily, or top 25 in the world. So well played, Project Belgium. I know it's got to be frustrating, right? When you prepare for a tournament, you play for months and months, try and get your ranking up, and then you get in and you get 3-0'd. But my salute goes out to you, Belgium. I don't know if you're in the chat now because I know you're a T90 sub. But well played, man. Well played regardless. Thank you for playing this game. Thank you for giving me games to cast. Thank you for giving this audience here games to watch. And better luck next time, man. So here are the achievements for that game. KD was similar, but Hera had full control. More food, more wood, more stone. He, of course, had the extra relics, and he had the extra gold secured. So very quick best of 5, but this gives us some time. I'm not going to end the stream here. You don't need to worry about that. But this gives us some time to look at the brackets for what's upcoming. And just remember, next time we cast Hera, he will not have the Malay, Magyar, or Hun civilization available. Okie doke, guys. So, I'm going to look at the brackets, and we could talk about this for a bit. So here we are. Sorry, it's a bit... Whoop! Okay, cool. So these brackets are pretty nuts. Check this out. So first and foremost, #1 seed in this tournament is the Viper. Viper is up against Black. So Black is in a similar spot to Project Belgium where it's going to be very tough for him to get a result. But maybe, just maybe, we could have one of the biggest upsets ever because this is a single elimination tournament. Maybe Black can have his best day ever and Viper will have his worst day. And Black will get the upset there. Unlikely, though. ACCM and CL, otherwise known as Happy Happy, the 16th and the 17th seed. That's going to be an interesting set. Very close there. Hera moves on here to face the winner of Tato and Stark. I think that's also an interesting set. The fact that Stark is seeded 24th in this tournament shakes things up for Tato because I think Stark is better than 24. Then you have Max and Cloud. Will be tough for Cloud, but certainly doable. I'd like to see Cloud perform in this tournament, but Max should be favored there. Just remember, King of the Desert won. Max beat Lix, he beat MBL, and he beat Slam, and he only lost to Viper in the semifinals. So look for a sick performance from him. He deserves his 4th seed. We have Backed and we have Lix. Man, all of these sets are going to be insane. Backed has been playing extremely well. He's been playing better over the past 6 months than I've seen him in years. So that will be fun to see. We have Mr. Yo facing off Daniel. Daniel is one of the best American players in the world right now, if not the best. We'll see what he can do. That's going to be tough for him. Slam and Say My Name, aka Yellow. I don't know, man. Say My Name could win that. He could upset Slam, but Slam is a player who should beat Yellow, I think. Slam is a top 10 player for sure. We have Leary and Barrels. That should probably go to Leary. We have Velez and Black Mamba. That could go either way. Perhaps the most exciting first round matchup is MBL and Miguel. MBL and Miguel. That's going to be pretty nuts if you ask me. If you think back to Hidden Cup, Miguel beat Leary, he beat Doubt, was it? And then he ended up losing to Viper in the semifinals. So Miguel is a very strong player. And then MBL got to the final of Hidden Cup and also lost to Viper there in a close set. Nikov and Zupi, that's going to be nuts. We have the Fat Dragon and Chart. That's something that should go to the Dragon. Fire and Riot. So we have a Brazilian face-off. We have Doubt and Yingwall, Tim and Lan. All the best players in the world are playing in this tournament. Rounds 1 is the best of 5. Rounds 2 is the best of 5. If you want more info on this tournament, you can, if you're on Twitch, type !KUTT2. Or I guess if you're on YouTube, you can look at the video description. So while we have the time to discuss this, Predictions, guys? Predictions? Give me your top 4. It would not be the most bold prediction to say Viper. Yes, Tarz, shame on you. Give me your top 4, Twitch chat. Top 4, Viper, Larry, Yo, and Vivi. Okay. Viper, 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 Viper. Okay, Balky letting his inner fanboy show to the world. Viper out in second round. That's a pretty bold prediction. Well, looking at the bracket, because I had to look at what players could potentially face off against each other. Vivi, it'll be tough for him against Fire or Riot, but I think I'd favor him. Vivi would move on then to face either Doubt, Yingwalt, Tim, or Lan. Just looking at the bracket, and I feel like Vivi, maybe the biggest threat to him would be Doubt. But I think he can beat everyone else here. And then potentially make it here where he could find either Leary, MBL, Miguel, Nikov, who knows. It's really impossible to say. It's really impossible to say, but I'm excited to find out. So guys, I started the stream 1 hour ago, and we're going to continue to cast some games. Hope that's cool.